Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news. So there's some serious buzz swirling around the NFC North right now, and it involves the Minnesota Vikings, who are seemingly ready to shake things up in a big way. Rumors are flying that the Vikings might be open to trading Christian Darrisaw, their star offensive tackle, to the Chicago Bears. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another trade deadline rumor, right? But this one feels different. It's got the potential to reshape the division and significantly bolster the Bears' offensive line, which has been a point of concern this season. And trust me, for Bears fans who are used to seeing their team fight for offensive line stability, this could be a game changer. Let's break down what's really going on here. The Vikings, sitting at 6-9, are in a rebuild mode, especially after some struggles under head coach Kevin McCarthy. They're reportedly considering trading Darrisaw, who's only in his second year, aiming to get a first-round pick and a third-rounder in exchange. The Vikings are cap-focused right now, with about $12 million in cap space, and they're prioritizing draft picks to build for the future, mainly focusing on their wide receiver and defensive line positions. Trading Darrisaw could free up around $21 million in cap space, giving them flexibility to target other key players in the draft or free agency. But there's skepticism too. Some analysts point out that losing Darrisaw's talent could weaken an already struggling offensive line, which has seen a drop in run efficiency, especially since the Nelson trade, which hurt their rushing attack by roughly 140 yards in 2025. Now, for us Bears fans, this is a tantalizing prospect. Darrisaw, drafted in 2021, has developed into one of the league's most promising young tackles. He's played 78 games so far, and his PFF grade averages around 88. That's really solid for an offensive tackle. In 2024, he allowed only 4 sacks, which is impressive for a player with his mobility and agility. His peak play in 2024 shows a pass-blocking grade above 89.5, and he's allowed just 2 sacks in 2025 over 930 snaps. His pass protection is elite, with an average of 92%, and he's been incredibly durable, missing no major games or injuries. What really stands out is his versatility and athleticism. Darrisaw is not just a brick wall. He's mobile, with a yards per pull average of 4.7 yards, and he's been a key factor in Minnesota's rushing success, helping them gain over 200 yards per game on the ground in 2023. Imagine what adding a player like Darrisaw to the Bears' offensive line could mean. Our interior line, especially with the struggles we've had with injuries and consistency, could see a massive upgrade, adding a true cornerstone at tackle who can handle elite pass rushers and open up running lanes. His presence would significantly reduce sacks, projected to drop from 35 to around 22, and boost our rushing yards from roughly 1,600 to nearly 1,900 yards per season. That's a huge boost for our offense, which already averages 27 points per game. With Darrisaw protecting Justin Fields and giving our running game a fresh push, the Bears could become a trench-dominant team, transforming our offensive identity. But why would the Vikings consider such a move? Well, the trade could be a win-win. For Minnesota, it's about cap space, draft capital, and rebuilding with a focus on young talent. They're already looking ahead to the 2025 draft, planning to prioritize drafting an anchor for their offensive line. The loss of Darrisaw might weaken their pass protection slightly, but it could be part of a larger plan to rebuild around their young core, especially if they're eyeing a rebuild mode after a disappointing season. Meanwhile, the Bears, who are currently sitting at 11-4 and looking to solidify their position as playoff contenders, would be getting a proven, high-caliber left tackle who could anchor our line for years to come. His addition would have an immediate impact, boosting our run game, reducing sacks, and providing Justin Fields with the protection he needs to unleash his full potential. The Bears' offense would become more balanced, more explosive, and more difficult for defenses to contain. Plus, with the NFC North as competitive as ever, especially with teams like the Detroit Lions and Green Bay Packers improving, Having a dominant offensive line could give us that extra edge we need to push deeper into the postseason. Looking at the bigger picture, this move could also influence the betting odds and playoff probabilities. Right now, the Super Bowl odds for the Bears are around plus 600, but if we land Darisaw, those odds could tighten significantly, potentially moving to plus 300 or even better. His presence would be a huge X factor in the playoffs, especially in close games where the trench battles often determine the outcome. Analysts are noting that interior line dominance is a key indicator of playoff success, and adding Darisaw could elevate the Bears into that elite tier, making us a more formidable team in the postseason. Now, it's not just about the short-term gains. For the Bears, acquiring Darisaw would be a statement move, signaling that we're serious about building a powerhouse offensive line that can sustain success for years to come. This could turn the Bears into a dynasty in the trenches, similar to some of the great offensive lines we've seen in NFL history. The franchise has always prized strong offensive line play, and finally securing a player like Darisaw would be the kind of move that cements our identity as a team that controls the line of scrimmage. Of course, the Vikings are cautious about this, and rightfully so. Trading Darisaw would be a bold move, but one that signals they're embracing a rebuild. They're betting on their draft picks, focusing on developing young talent, and trying to set themselves up for a bright future. But for us Bears fans, this potential trade is exciting because it could be the missing piece that elevates our offense from good to great. It's the kind of move that could reshape the NFC North, and honestly, it might even influence the landscape of the NFC as a whole. In the end, whether this trade happens or not, it's clear that the Bears are in a position to make some serious noise in the coming seasons. With Justin Fields developing, the coaching staff solidifying the scheme, and the potential addition of a game-changing tackle like Christian Darisaw, our team's future is looking brighter than ever. It's a perfect storm of opportunity, and the fans can feel it in their bones. This could be the start of something special, a new chapter in Bears history where the trenches become our greatest strength. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and TO, the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news.